First one, come takes invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development for today's items only. The investment on talk today will be Ethereum TKTH. So it's my second posting as of today. With respect to recording time of 12:24 p.m. on the Eastern time, Ethereum coin trading $3,901, about 1.54% so far. On the crypto market so far, it's kind of a mixed bag at the moment with respect to Bitcoin and Ethereum. With respect to Bitcoin, it's kind of trade on a sideways fashion, not doing much. Currently leaning down about 1.38% downward right now, while Ethereum is on the opposite side of the spectrum for obvious reasons, right? With respect to some of the positive news that we've been mentioning earlier this morning, it seems like on the altcoin side of the world, selectively, like Dogecoin is also up about 1.31%, XRP up about 1.76%. Polkadot seems like it's still surging at about 5% so far. Algorand up about 4% so far. So with respect to news, I've been keeping track this morning. In addition to that, there are some other news that came out in the last 4 hours so far. So with respect to the first one on Market Watch about 2 hours ago, where is crypto headed after Bitcoin recent rally? So the article is already kind of leaning towards more of a negative tone. They're saying that the Bitcoin recent rally is basically, ending early. It seems like we are no longer leaping as a next step. And when that happens, subsequently we drag down the whole crypto market or just kind of more normalized type of fashion at the moment. So with respect to Bitcoin, let's take a look at it real quick. So you can see that, we have been leaping up enormously, right, from that bottom, technically the $42,000, which technically it's basically matching with this level of substantiveness, but this is non-substantive if you compare, all the other ones, right? The more substantive level that were formed historically was anywhere from the 40,000 to 37, 34, right? And ever since then, as we got that golden cross, which we've been talking about, we formed that upward leap, right? And as we cross from basically at the 39, which was technically at the bottom, that's why I was screaming at people we should be buying at this ideal logical dollar cost average level and then subsequently leap up from there, right? So right now we are exactly opposite of where we were in the technical perspective when we were on September 29th. We are extremely overbought in comparisons to when we were extremely oversold, right? So what we're seeing right now is just more pump coming from obviously the anticipation for the ETF for the Bitcoin that is expected to debut, I think, sometimes in the next 2 weeks or by the end of this month or beginning of November this year, right? So something we don't have a confirmatory date on it yet, but with the news stirring it up so, active, it's driving the upward pressure that we're seeing right now. So right now, you could see that we're slowly forming a curvature right now on the MACD. So technically, the peak is, we never got to the all-time high, which is technically the 65,000 or 64,900. We got there at the 43, which is just basically a hair away. Unless we got there, we are selling back down. So, and that makes sense, right? Because right now we're screaming overbought in all level at 76 out of 70. We are exceeding the mark. At the same time forming a curvature. So I think the sell-off would be quite imminent going forward from there, and that would drag down the whole overall crypto market. For Ethereum, the news is really, altcoins, or if you can even call Ethereum an altcoin, I think it's just an entity by itself right now, comparable to like Bitcoin, how would they characterize Bitcoin, about a year and a half ago. Right, so right now we are not as overbought as Bitcoin, but we are obviously having a lag effect because it's secondary in terms of momentum from Bitcoin. That right now we are at the 70 out of 70, so we exactly at the overbought zone. On top of the fact that MACD right now is still covering up, but no signs of reversing yet. So technically, we still have some leg to run up to. And ideally would be the next level to the 4,050 mark, right? And by then we will obviously consolidate if we even have that level of sustainability. And if we get there and we have another bullish media affectation, we'll drive up to close to the 4,350, which is the next tactical leap up, right? So I think because of the fact that we already overbought, I don't think we want to test our luck on an RSI and a MACD perspective. That do you want to risk potentially, for that $300 gain? Or was it more logical when we were talking about buy at the 3,150, buy at the 3,000, buy the 2,750, buy at the 2,450 back in the day, right? I think ideally, because of the level that we're at right now, we have the exact opposite where we were on, again, like the, basically mid-September. That is more ideal for us to basically sit and watch, or maybe even take some short-term profit if it's something that you want to be doing, like a swing trade, right? So definitely be cautious. And on specifically on Ethereum news, I feel like I forgot to talk about some of the news. Beside the Bitcoin rally news, another news coming from Decrypt is about 3 hours ago. Talk about Ethereum batch app POAP is scaling back to move forward. So it seems like there is some massive adoptions, massive increase in subscriber or users on this platform, and this is great because this whole platform is using, the Ethereum as a base, as a value proposition, and with that massive usage, will burn more Ethereum and subsequently will drive more market imbalance, with more demand versus less supply, should technically translate into a higher search for Ethereum, which is something we appreciate. Then the next one on Decrypt about 3.5 hours ago, talking about the Megaverse Ethereum NFT rolls out, dogged by fraud allegations. So this is something we talked about already. It seems like there's some fraudulent activities that's cultivating among the Megaverse Ethereum NFT. Something that we've been hearing a lot. There's definitely cyber security or privacy concerns among the crypto industry. From accounts on Coinbase being hacked to, basically people saying it's kind of a conspiracy that these people that are investing heavily in NFT arts it's just a form of tax write-off or some sort of like money laundering gimmicks, if you may. So definitely, something we want to be, raising a flag on. Anyways, so with respect to other news, I think that's pretty much it overall. And then the other one is really just a regurgitation news again. Talk about the 188.16 million in Ethereum that was transferred between two wallets. So it's a sizable amount of transfer, but nothing really, specifically pointing at, is this a transaction of a purchase, or is it just a transaction of one wallet versus another, like a friend transfer to another friend, or was it more of just a transaction that was made to buy something, or was it just a wallet transfer purely on a one-to-one basis? That's something they don't really specify here, but it's just basically talk about because the number is huge. More like a clickbait, if you may, so nothing really substantive. So that's really it on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's look at Dogecoin. Right now, we're still, kind of hovering on a sideways fashion. We're forming a death cross slowly with this 50 out of 70. So ideally, again, right, buy at the 21 and then 20 and 19 would be better level. So with respect to Cardano, we are at the 220 right now. Again, right, because of the fact that we're trading comparable to Dogecoin, we're at the 50 out of 70 again. Ideally would be coming down to somewhere around like the 205 and then the $2 mark. Oops, so sorry. Oh my god, what's going on? Oh my god, what is happening? Oh, what is happening? Oh, so sorry about that. Click the wrong button. Anyways, with respect to Cardano, no, we're moving on to Solana right now. So with Solana, we are trading at down about 1.66%, trading at 160 right now. And with respect to the market trend right now, let's take it closely. You can see that we formed that cross downward, which is the reason why we have been that escalated downward trend, sell down all the way to 137. And ever since then, we had that reversal. Basically, the ball starts scooping up again. So I do see some potential bullishness coming, but it's not going to be a severe one. And I think ideally leaping up to the next technical level would be somewhere around like the 172 at the max, because of the fact that we're still at the more of a neutral level for overbought, despite the golden cross that we're about to form shortly. XRP right now, we are at the 60 out of 70. So the setup is not ideal because we formed a golden cross recently, which is the reason why we're leaping up. But we're curving down right now. The ball is about to, is about to run through its entire course of trajectory. So ideally 110, 101 would be better. And polkadot, we're still leaping up right now. And the reason is because we are, we formed that golden cross and we have some whale manipulations activity. So people are probably chasing in right now because of this mega green candle. So mainly the volume that we're seeing right now is coming from public investors. So that's an imbalance into ecosystem. That's not something we appreciate. So ideally, you want to be way off a little bit, right? Especially we are screaming overbought right now, and ideally again would be somewhere around like at least at bare minimum to 29 cents, $29. But for me, I think 25 will be more ideal to dollar cost average at polkadots. Algorand, we are forming a cross section. We just formed it recently. This is the reason why we leaped up. As the apex for the ball curved down, we will be crossing down a little bit, and I think ideally crossing back down to the 160 and then 150 would be more ideal. So that's pretty much it on the coins so far. I know I have other coins I need to do some homework on, like I believe like Shiba Inu and some other coins that you guys also mentioned. But let me I'll do some more homework during this weekend to keep up to date with respect to the market dynamics. With respect to the market cheat sheet, it seems obviously not the most obvious, and to exclude from confusing each other, let's just look at the resistance level to dollar cost average, right? I think ideally these are the levels that we will have to we will ideally want to buy it, right? The best mixture is basically when we're forming a golden cross, right? At the same time, the RSI is depleted to the $35 level, right? And these are the level that translate into an entry price to dollar cost average at, right? And I think we always want to be buying, anything on a discount, right? Not a premium. And right now we're definitely stretching it as a form of a premium. So, definitely be careful. Whenever it goes up really, really fast, come down just as fast. So really, be careful. Don't chase the euphoria. Don't chase the hype, right? And hopefully you guys stay safe during this weekend as well. I know some of the COVID cases are spiking again, and the weather is getting cooler now. So definitely put on a jacket or sweaters to stay warm and not get cold, and not get a cold. Because I know some of my colleagues and friends are a little bit under the weather collectively, which is really weird. I think it's the transitional time period. When it's kind of cool and hot every single day, it could kind of have that volatility effect onto your body that is hard for you to sustain homeostasis. I guess I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but really appreciate you for dropping by again. Hope you guys have a great Saturday and great rest of the weekend. And stay tuned for the come up. Take care. Bye.